Hello, welcome one and all to day 8 of the whole game development journey thing. We're making a game, it's gonna be good. If it looks like I'm hot, it's only because it's 85 degrees outside, which means it's 85 degrees in here because I don't have AC and all the windows are open. Anyway, so you might remember from last time the horrible slog that we went to just simply get a character walking, and I'm pleased to say that it... Anyway, yeah, we have movement. I can look around. Look, fantastic. I can jump even. We're probably not going to use jump for anything, but we can do it. We can look around. We can look around. I need sleep, but we can look around. We can walk around, and these are very important things, and it's a good start. So now I want to shift focus to getting we have our forest path level idea, and we want to get that working. Now, if you remember the whole idea was just have like, here's our cave with like this is the entrance to the cave, and there's, you know, it breaks off to like a kind of like a cliff, jaggedy cliff section, and there's a lot of forests and trees over here, and this is a whole thing. Some stuff up here, you know, forest, like dense bushes and things like that going into the distance. Maybe there's like a wagon, weather vane kind of deal. And finally, there's a path coming down the forest and leading into this larger area. So it's a very simple kind of deal, and this is what we're going for. So that all being said, I think what we want to do, because our boy Oliver Dive over here did recommend this specific tutorial to basically get the ball rolling on like just creating an area and things like that. So I'm going to go through it. It's 5 hours long. I'm going to go through it. We're going to skip around because a lot of the stuff I had learned previously, obviously I need a refresher, but yeah, keeping true to the last video, I'm going to lock more into just making sure I learn the things that I need in the moment of like the next thing that I'm wanting to do, rather than get an entire like tutorial and all that kind of stuff with all the, you know, it's a bunch of stuff that we're not going to be using right this second. Because that's just how my brain works, and we're going to jump into it. So without further ado, let's get going.
Hello everyone. If you are completely new to Unreal Engine 5, let's save our landscape, you need to go into landscape editing mode. To do so, come up to select mode and then select landscape. Finally, we're going to go over what some of these modes do.
Alright, so from the get-go, it seems like this is fairly... I did not know about the landscaping tool. So, selection mode. Wait, there's a foliage mode. Mesh paint, modeling, fracture. Huh. Got a bunch of stuff in here. Okay, landscape. Terrifying. So, oh boy, my computer's sounding like it wants to take off. All right, preparing shaders. Is that what it's trying to do? Oh man. Hey, buddy, don't do this to my computer. Okay. Oh, okay. I just need to get the shaders out of the way. That was lagging so bad. Hope that didn't just absolutely trash my recording. I think the brush size and all that kind of stuff is pretty self-explanatory, yeah. So, sculpt. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? The like the landscaping tool in like what was it, like the 3D roller coaster tycoon, or more recently like Planet Coaster. And you can like build stuff with like the landscaping tool like this. Man. Okay, yeah, this is very familiar. And we can hit Control Z, delete all that. Okay, all right. I think this might be, okay, first things first, let's kind of sculpt our path area. We already have our player start, which is right here. So let's see about getting some mirror. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, so hydro. What? This is crazy. So let's go and start like sculpting this area. So let's first, I have an idea. I'm gonna make another little cube. Wait, no, we have to go into a different thing. Paint. Target layers assigned to this landscape. Use the buttons above to add new ones. Alright, don't know what that does. Select. Oh, this is like kind of selecting like the larger regions and stuff? Yeah. Alright, real quick, I think what would be helpful for us, can we like just delete? Cool. That does that. All right, let's zoom. Gotta find our box again. Seems like we had a lot of land that I didn't know what to do with. So, all right, let's keep things in perspective here. So the first thing I'm thinking of is like this. I want to go back to the selection mode real quick, and I want to make more of these boxes. Can I hit Control D? That'll duplicate. It will duplicate. Okay, cool. Let me duplicate the box. Set it over there. All right. So let's get our dude. Let's start walking around, and look at this. I'm getting a feeling for like how long it's gonna take to go someplace. Shift F1. Let's duplicate this box again. Oops, no, you come back and you go over there. Say around this box is our cave, and around like this box is kind of like the turn in the road. And this will be the area. I feel like that'll be a decent like, yeah, starting area for now. Okay, so yeah, I was just using the boxes to literally lay out like where things are gonna be. So let's go back to the landscape. I do see potential problems. We are going to have to like adjust a few things. When, you know, like we're gonna have to change the height, or we're like this right now. The player start is directly on the grid, and we'll need to raise up the player later, but we'll deal with that later. But right now, brush, alpha brush orients a mask image with a brush stroke, simple circular brush, pattern brush. That's funny. I can see what it's used for. Right. Right, and I assume you can like get different textures and stuff. But we're just gonna use the simple circular brush right now. So I think I said before, like this area off to the, I think I wanted to make it like kind of a downward slope all the way. I just now thought like, what if I want to do like negative? You know, like you, I want the ground to go down. Let's go back to the video real fast and see if he has anything to say about that.
So left mouse button is to raise a terrain. If I hold down shift and left mouse button, then I lower the terrain. And by default, we are using the basic sculpt brush.
Okay, we're gonna hold down shift. That's what we're gonna do. So back to this, hold down shift. There we go, that's what we wanted. I thought I tried that, but oh no, I just tried control. I'm silly sometimes. I'm a silly little guy. I'm crazy. I'm insane. So that's something you gotta know about me. All right, so let's get this going. So I want the lower area over here, like where the cave is. I want where the cave is to be slightly lower, so you're kind of going down like a decline a bit. It's a ramp between 2 points. Add ramp. And as if to reset, as if to be exactly precisely what I need, fall off on side of the ramp. So if we change that, what's the fall off do? Interesting. I'm wondering why it's so wobbly in the middle there. Layers? But yeah, this is kind of exactly what I was looking for. So we're gonna reset the ramp. And I think if we just like go from here to here-ish. Yeah, I mean, we can always sculpt it and get more precise, but I don't want it to be crazy, just like a little decline like that. Wait. You know what? I think it'd be easier if we started out high over here and then worked our way down at the end. My thought process being like, you know, if I put this one down here and like this one at like, then I'm gonna have to go through and edit like a lot more of this, whereas this I kind of like this needs to be kind of a forest area on either side of this, so it doesn't make sense to have it like, if that makes sense. Like I don't want, the cliff just needs to be on the left side. Whoops. All right, but so far I think that'll do. Add ramp. Boom. Like that. And immediately we're getting some weirdness. We can keep adding ramp. Now, why is it doing this though? Like it's doing, why do we have like a big old divot right there? I don't know. But we do need to make the ramp wider. Back over here. We gotta bring up this area more. Okay, so this sculpting tool, like, it's pretty straightforward, all things considered. Which size? Okay, wait, hold on. Put that back down. And then we have a smooth tool. It smoothens it out for us. Yeah, nice and smooth. But now we have this. Where did this come from? There's something about the ramp tool I'm not understanding. Oh, wait, was this? That would, man, this is confusing. All right, let's go back. This is not what I was picturing. All right, let's just take this, start ourselves here, end ourselves here. Put that below ground. This one's slightly above ground. Add ramp. So what happens if we put this significantly below ground? Why is it doing this stuff? That I don't understand. Okay, we're gonna... The ramp tool's irritating me. But we... Okay. Ooh, yeah, that goes. Yeah, we can afford the tool to be a little. We're just like in the rough shapes right now. So we can afford the tool to be a bit rougher at the moment. Wait, what is this? No, we don't need to be that low. Oops. I wonder if we just start. Oh, we're gonna fall through the world, obviously. Let's take our player start. Wait, we can shift F. Wait, no, that's not what I did. Shift F1, go back into selection mode, player start, and we want to raise the player start up. Move that forward. Yee. Perfect. Take this box. We're gonna raise this one up. We're also gonna raise this one up. Go back to shift 2. Okay, so now that that's settled, we'll go back in here. This is looking like an absolute mess, so that is good. There's like this weird line forming right here that I don't... That's fine. Okay, so back to smooth this out. What is going on with you? Why you do this? Let's, real fast, let's just go in here and... Oh, that one slides down. Okay. Well, at least we know we can climb it. I wonder if there's like limits to like the climbing already. I don't think there are any limit. There would be any limits, would there? Like this seems like kind of steep. I don't know. Okay, yeah, that one's not letting us through. Okay, good to know. This tool strength down. This is our main space over here where all the stuff's going down. So smooth that out, smooth this out a little bit. Okay, this is starting to look like something. Maybe not like great something, but it's starting to look like something. Back to the sculpting tool. And we're going to start raising, because remember this side's gonna be more of like the cliff edge. It's gonna be like kind of a more of a cliff area off to this side here. And we can make it look more convincing later on once we like get to the textures and stuff, but I'm just trying to get the rough shape. And what is this? I wonder. Erosion tool. Wait, so what if we threshold? Noise. No idea. Okay, that is like on the right track though for kind of what I was thinking of. I obviously want to raise this because I don't want you to be able to see like kind of like where you're going exactly. Is that a motorcycle? Someone brapping out there a motorcycle? That's crazy. Why would you do that? Okay, yeah, it's looking decent. And then we get this area, we smooth it out a little bit. Turn the tool strength up and the brush size up a bit, and making a big old divot. And smooth. What's this flatten do? I do notice it getting blue right here, and I don't know why that is. And it makes me wonder if I'm doing something that shouldn't. Outdated HLODs need to be rebuilt. I don't know what that means. We're steaming ahead though. So we can smooth this out more, but like, none of this is supposed to be sloped over here. I don't know. There's a bit of an abrupt cut here because I left to make dinner and then I came back and was starting a new segment about trying to get textures working and all of that. And I was going to visit our old friend Quixel, if you might remember from the first couple videos we had when working in Unreal Engine. Apparently Quixel doesn't work anymore because they switched to something called Fab, or something or other. Anyway, that being said, things were also starting to get out of hand, and I was getting into a bunch of other things that I didn't know how to tackle, and I didn't want things to turn into a video like Day 7 turned into, where there's way too much to go through, and it turns into a huge mess, and it takes way too long to edit and cut down, and it's like a whole thing, and then I have to come in after the fact and editing and explain what the hell is going on in the first place. So, anyway... so I apologize for the shorter and maybe abrupt ending of this video this week. I'm trying to get back into swing of things after I stopped recording last year, and I'm getting back into it. I'm starting to notice some issues with how I'm tackling each day already, so that's good. I think I'm going to talk about in another video, probably. I guess it'll be day 8.5 or something like that. But for now, to recap, we just very quickly got into Unreal. We got ourselves acquainted with the landscaping tool and made a kind of thrown together idea of what the starting area is going to look like. That being said, I decided to delete all that progress, and we're going to be starting next week fresh with basically a new landscape block, because it turns out starting with this giant massive landscape with stuff all around is probably not the best way to go about things. So yeah. So to get on with things, to the I guess the commentary from last week, there was only one comment, but yeah, from Oliver Dive, who says, honestly, while watching, I felt like it was me trying to figure it out. Same mistakes, same confusion, but the best part is you kept going and found a fix. That feeling when it finally works really makes all the struggle worth it. Super excited for the next video. Thank you very much, Oliver Dive. Yeah, that I cannot emphasize enough how, first of all, it wasn't just that the project itself was difficult, like just getting the character working. It was the video itself turned into such a monster. It's, oh boy, I should have tackled things in smaller chunks, I think. But yeah, we did eventually get it working after slamming my head against the wall for long enough. So this video comparatively is a lot more basic, a lot smaller in scope. We literally just fiddled with the landscaping tool for a little bit and got a rough outline. And then I've scrapped all that progress, and we're gonna start again new next week. Oof. Yeah, that day 7 was pretty rough. And I think I have ways to solve that going forward so I won't have so much trouble. Well, I'm still gonna have trouble, but the same amount of trouble, but in smaller bite-sized chunks, so as not to get overwhelmed with how long that video took to not only record, like me just learning the whole thing was such a long time, but also for editing down. Anyhow, thank you everyone for watching, and I will see y'all on day 9. And we're gonna get back to using a landscape tool, and hopefully we're gonna get some materials included and start like filling in dirt, filling in the ground. We'll see how far. Maybe we can get to vegetation and trees and things like that. So see y'all next time. And also all the recording settings on my OBS software were completely screwed up. So if there's been a lot of pixelation, a lot of looking bad in the past few videos, that's why, and I'm fixing it now. Also, I moved my light. Also, there's a fan. Also, there's a noise cancellation on my... I'll explain it later. Bye.